Crispy Demon, John here. Session 1 went off fantastic, except some moron, this guy right here, forgot to hit the record button for the first half of the session. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of what happened in the couple of minutes that I didn't get recorded so that you guys, anybody watching this, can be up to speed. So we introduce our players. 3 of them are already starting off kind of working together under the employ of a surly but well-meaning basilisk named MacReady. He's sort of the captain of the crew. So we've got Rin, who is a Chiss female. She's been under the employ of MacReady for about a year, working with him on and off, doing different jobs, trying to do some other work, pay off some debts and stuff. Not necessarily financial debts, but trying to work some things out. So they've been working together for a while. And then you've got Tychus and V3, who just sort of joined the crew for this particular job. Tychus, human male, works, it's just sort of paying off a debt for somebody else. He owes someone else something. This other person owes MacReady something. So this person is using Tychus's debt to him to pay off his debt to MacReady. So that's how Tychus ended up on the job. And then you've got V3, who is a droid, slightly modified 3PO model protocol droid, chassis-wise anyway. Being that he's a player character, I'm sure he's got more to him than that, but we'll discover that as we go along, I'm sure. They arrive on the planet. They're supposed to link up with a driver for Gludo. Gludo the Hutt is who they're doing this job for. Apparently MacReady owes Gludo a favor, so he's arranged to do this job. Gludo's apparently having well, actually at this point we didn't know what was going on at this point. It's one of the problems with going backwards in time, is that I know more information now than I did at the time. But anyway, so they're supposed to meet with Gludo the Hutt. They're getting picked up in a limo. MacReady takes the front seat up there with the driver. The rest of the crew, Tychus, V3, and Rin, get in the back of the limo. They head off to their meeting with Gludo, and shortly after they take off, they're in the air for just a few short minutes when tragedy strikes to a certain extent. Rocket attack hits the limo, sends it spinning out of control, collides along the side of a building. Pieces of the limo are flying. It's definitely going down. As it runs along the side of one building, it bounces off, collides with like a street lamp or something. It ends up breaking in half. The first half goes flying on the walkway along this other building. The front half with MacReady and the driver. The second half with the other 3 players, Tychus, Rin, and V3, go flying off of the edge of the walkway up there, careens out of control, basically falling through the air at this point. And then we cut to Dav walking on a different level down below. He sees all this happen and he just watches, probably somewhat indifferent. Violence is nothing unheard of on Nar Shadda, though, I expect anybody would pay attention when there's explosions and not just street fights. But he watches and realizes with a little bit of horror as this piece of the limo, the rear half, is flying towards him. He ducks down to avoid it. It screeches along the walkway down there, finally coming to a rest. Dav is our other player character. He is also human, a little bit on the scoundrel side of things. He comes running up to check on the vehicle, see if anybody's still alive inside, or maybe there's some money or booze or something left inside. But as he's sort of standing there in the open door, the destroyed open door of this limo, a speeder van pulls up at the corner of the walkway that they're on, and a couple of thug type dudes get out. They hear somebody in the van yell, "Take them! No survivors!" And then they start marching down towards the vehicle. At that point, combat begins. It's a relatively quick affair. We find out that Dav had some sort of illicit relationship with one of the guy's sisters, it sounds like. So Dav sort of got a little bit of attention there during the fight. We also discover that V3 is not the greatest at shooting. Tychus has a slug thrower rifle that he carries around with him, sort of a memento of his life on the frontier, so to speak. But he hands that off to V3, who tries to take a shot with it and just fails miserably. It was very obvious he's not one for using a rifle. But the fight ends. All of the enemies are dead. They take a quick look at the guys. They all have a red sword. Either most of them have it like on their hilt, like to their side. It seems to be mostly decorative. They don't seem to be functional weapons at all. But Dav tells the rest of them that this is a street gang known as the Scarlet Blades. They don't really stick around too long. They run to go check on MacReady. By the time they get up there, they see the same van that had dropped the other thugs that had attacked them. The doors slam closed right when they get there. They can't really see what's going on inside of it, and begins to pull off. Tychus takes a couple of shots with his blaster, but it's not enough to really damage the vehicle. Doing a quick investigation of the crash scene, they find that the driver looks like he died during the crash, but judging by the couple of bodies that they found at the front of the limo, they were also Scarlet Blades. It looks like MacReady was still alive. Put up a decent fight, actually. Taking a couple of the guys out. There's sort of blood splatter, scrapes and stuff over to where the van was. So it looks like, as far as they can tell, MacReady was still alive and struggling when they looks like they threw him in the back of that van and took off. Their next sort of goal was like, we got to find MacReady. So Dav, being aware of this planet's sort of seedier elements, and surprisingly familiar with the Crimson or the Scarlet Blades, narrows down where they could possibly have taken him. A little while later, they managed to track down a location that looks to be a storage facility or a distribution facility or some sort of like small stronghold for the Scarlet Blades. If nothing else, judging by the couple of Scarlet Blades thugs that are sort of pulling guard outside, as well as another group of thugs doing walking the perimeter of the property. This is a lower level area. It's run down, grimy. The atmosphere kind of got a stank to it. The recyclers down at that level aren't very well maintained, but they send Dav out to sort of scout the perimeter of the building. Everybody else sort of takes positions around the front, sort of keeping an eye on these guys at the front entrance. Unfortunately, Dav catches a little bit of attention while he's doing his perimeter sweep. The group of guards that are sort of patrolling around the building catch him, but quick on his feet, Dav manages to convince them, with the help of a bottle of liquor that he found in the alley, luckily, that he's just, some drunk dude who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He gets roughed up a little bit, but basically they just give him a swift kick in the ass and tell him to get out of there. And that's where we sort of go on our break, and I realized that I hadn't been recording, and that's where we're going to pick up now, is right after our sort of intermission there, where Dav has found the sort of back entrance of this warehouse, spotted the van. As far as he can tell, it looks like the same van. It's the same model and everything, and they even has the same scorch marks from when Tychus had taken his couple of blaster shots at it. And that's where we leave off. He's sort of communicating back to the rest of the party what he's found. So enjoy. Hopefully I don't forget to hit the record button again, because doing this part right here is much harder even than GMing the game, because I'm just talking to myself and it's uncomfortable and weird. So, yeah, we'll get to it. Hope you enjoy. Take care. All right. Dav just got drug away from the warehouse, like down to the next street by the Aqualish thugs. So right now, at this point, the one group of Aqualish is away from the warehouse. The rest of you guys probably wouldn't know that until Dav would let you know, but that's what's currently going on. The guys at the front are still just standing outside the front door, where you guys are all, Tychus and Rhea?
Rin.
Thank you. You guys are watching those guys, and V3, you just got that speeder truck running.
Yeah, he's gonna set that probably outside of view of the warehouse, but maybe off to a side street where maybe Tychus could see, because he has a better view.
Okay. Tychus, you see this truck roll up sort of down the next side street, and you see a very relatively conspicuous recognizable droid driving it, and it's just kind of
I presume not driving in particularly great, but okay.
That's racist.
I mean,
It's
I
fine,
saw what
he
he
can
did
worry
with the gun. I'm not exactly fathoming his agility.
You just see this blue lens looking around uncertainly.
yeah.
He presses a button and the windshield wiper starts going and just kind of oh, shit.
Oh my.
Oh my.
So yeah. Would this
Okay,
be
so
enough time
sneaking
for me
did
to?
not really work.
No, wait. So would this be enough time for me to be apart from the guys? From the group of people that were
they
dragging
start
me away?
walking away. Yeah, if you want to wait for them to walk away, then yeah, they're heading back to continue on their patrol. You see them just kind of grumbling, "Fucker, this is a bullshit job."
Yeah. And I had my way back. I was like, as I popped there, I was like, "Hey, so that went well.
What did you find out?
I found out that this is the place. Found a little van. There's an open cargo port or van port doorway into their garage depot thing. It's also guarded by one group of people, just like this one.
Alright, yeah, then,
Okay.
we wanna
there-
bust or sneak
There
in?
wasn't anybody at the back one. It was just the guys patrolling.
Oh, it was just the guys patrolling.
Yeah, they're the
Yes.
guys that caught you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or yeah, so it wasn't exactly guarded. It was just unfortunate timing.
Yes.
By the way, Rin or Peter, I can barely hear you. If you're saying something.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, do we want to sneak our way in, or do we want to blast our way in?
I'm not sure. Your call. I just told you what I saw.
Okay.
It's your boss.
Yeah. If we sneak our way in, we go around the back and through the gate, then that way we can sort of block off that entrance, but if we sort of blast our way in like where we are now, they could escape through the van and just try and leave the warehouse. So that's what I'm a bit concerned about.
There's that.
Mm.
So Vitor kind of steps up from the direction he was coming from this van. Dav, were you able to assess whether the previously shot vehicle used by these individuals was present?
Yep, that's what I said. Just what I told your two pals here. It's right there in the back, with the door wide open.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
Must have just arrived themselves recently.
again, there seems to be enough people that I don't really want to have a shootout, but
We could use the van we just got, back it in, then sort of back it into the warehouse, then
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
our way.
Can I look at the van?
Yep.
Is it like? Is it like does it pop in your eyes as like? Is it like inconspicuous, or is it like?
Oh no! The idea is we back in. We shoot. We try and extract the captain. We just shoot anybody inside. Then once we've got him, we just retreat back to the van and speed off.
Ah, okay. I was thinking more in the lines of yeah, never mind. My way is too noisy.
Yeah.
So we could do that. I think we have a better shot if we go for the back.
Yeah.
At least that way we don't have any unforeseen circumstances as far as them escaping.
Yeah.
Perhaps a
well-
second vehicle may be used as distraction in the front. With set explosives to draw their attention.
Mm.
That is an idea. Can you do that?
With appropriate modifications, many vehicles may be made into combustibles.
I like this guy. I like this plan. Yeah.
I will
We
search
could.
for a second vehicle.
I think I remember seeing a second vehicle near the that van you just found. We could maybe use that. You could jerry rig that and fly it into the front.
Yeah.
Like have it flown into the front. Well, wait,
Here's
in the
the
back.
idea. Yeah, we could you could just use the thing you found and blast their engines, and when we make a getaway, you can just take the van that they carried your boss in.
That could work.
So, your calls, guys.
Anybody particularly skilled in planetary flying, piloting?
Um,
Not particularly.
I mean,
I,
I will be eventually.
I can run into buildings just as well as any other person.
I have basic programming for piloting, however, my sensory adapters and basic chassis is not well suited to agile behavior.
Okay, because I was going to recommend with the van we have someone who's better at driving, and have him reverse it in while, I guess whoever while the droid is jerry rigging the car, or like has jerry rigged the car and flying it in, having it like directed in.
This seems most appropriate.
I guess I'm Okay.
I already got hit once for the day. I am not gonna go myself and go and put myself in a blowing car.
Oh no, no. Us three, like, the people who are better at shooting, will be in the van, while the droid is setting the car up for the destruction.
So wait. I am not getting this plan at all, and this is out of character. Basically,
Okay.
you want us to sit in the van that is driving towards the building.
No.
Oh no, yeah, reversing into the building, like reversing inside the building, while the droid is attacking, like the droid is making a distraction with the car. Well, so
In the
like,
front.
Oh, when you say reversing, okay, going through the back.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
take
when
the
you say
money.
reversing, I just think of us being in a car as it goes in reverse. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my understanding is you're gonna take the van and like back it into one of the door in the back so that like you can just jump out of the back of the van, shoot the place up, grab the captain, jump into the van, and take off. While
Okay, yeah,
the
I get it.
car-
That makes more sense than
Yeah.
what I had in mind.
The car is like set to autopilot or something and just driven into the front, and then so everybody
That's
runs
exactly
to
what
the
I had in
front.
mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense than what I had in mind.
And we should make a meetup point for the droid, so when we sort of escape, we can pick the droid up, then continue. With V3.
I mean, while we do the shootout inside, the droid can just be at the vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is that
So?
what you guys are doing?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Jesus. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, so you guys are getting back off of the roof and climbing into the van, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then driving that around, sort of lining it up to just drive backwards into the open door where the other like truck van is.
Yeah.
Okay. And V3, you're going to go back to that airspeeder,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to try and rig it to fly in there and explode.
Yes.
Okay. So while you guys are V3, you're going to the
Mhm.
car. Go
Yep.
ahead and give me a mechanics check. I'm gonna do basically the same roll. I am going to, because you're trying to rig this to explode and because your mechanic stats are super high,
Mhm.
I am going to flip dark side to upgrade the difficulty by 1. So you've got a setback. It's going to be 2 difficulty for this, but it's upgraded once. So one of them will be red, one of them will be purple.
Okay.
And you are trying to, if I understand this right, make it so that you're not piloting it. It is just going to fly forward and then explode.
Yeah, right into the front.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a mechanics check. Wow.
Pretty good.
For a second, I thought that red one was despair. Okay, so it takes you a good couple of minutes to get this set up. It's a little bit harder to get the autopilot to do something that is well beyond the safety regulations that are installed in almost all vehicles. But you do manage to do it. What do you want to do with your significant advantage here?
Of
If I may make a suggestion,
course.
and you can throw this away if you want, you could rig it somehow to use like what's the word I'm looking for here? Instead of it just going as soon as you press the button, as soon as you finish this, you could rig it so that you send a signal like on your comlink or something, so that you don't have to necessarily have a meetup point.
Like a remote activation.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. Let's go with that.
And that saves me from having to split the group.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
like it.
All right. So, you guys climb into the back of the van. Tychus is piloting,
Yeah,
driving. All right.
probably would be. Yeah.
I'm not gonna have you make a roll for just backing up into the back of this thing.
Reverse.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make it a simple roll where there's literally no difficulty, and just you see if there's any benefits from it. But
Yeah, that does seem like a... Yeah, let's do that. Just go ahead and give me a piloting planetary check. I am going to throw a setback in there because you are driving backwards through basically an alley. All right. You managed to...
I fly real fucking casual. I'm just sort of like,
Arm out the side with your head out the window looking backwards.
yeah, you know, like.
You managed to even get it to the point where, like, the because it's like a truck, you don't even have the beep, beep, beep. Like, that's how well that you're managing to pilot this thing.
Just masterfully done.
All right. So,
Like my days in the academy when they had me back up things. It was a joke. That really wasn't part of the train. Never mind. Okay, let's just get this done.
You let that on, you
Get
let
outta
on
here.
the street. You let reversing on the street.
all right. So, V3, whenever you want to send that signal.
All right, he's going to try and time it so that he sends a signal that the explosion occurs just before we start to back in.
Okay. So you start backing up, and as you sort of get it lined up right where you want it, you pop out of the alley. Luckily, none of the patrol guy group, they're not around at the moment as you're backing up. As soon as you like clear the back alley street that you're coming out of, you've got it lined up. You slam it into reverse so that you get across that clearing. As soon as you do that, V3 hits the button, and you hear from the other side of the thing just woo, and you hear a bunch of people yelling, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" And it's you hear a loud crash from the other side of the building, and then a few seconds later, the nighttime is lit up as this thing explodes. You hear a couple of alarms going off from the fire system. You hear some shouts inside of the building as you assume people are running to find out who's having a frontal assault.
Who's the lucky person?
And you guys back up. You go into the warehouse. The other van is a couple of feet inside of the open door. You back right up to the door and I guess start hopping out.
Hop out. Extraction. That's our main objective. If we have to kill people, we'll kill them. But our objective is to get our captain back.
All right.
Honestly, I mean, you could just set the stun as like a, just in case you hit him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go. Well said.
Is everybody going in?
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
I'm going in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go in. V3, watch the van. Don't open it for anybody except for us.
Affirmative.
Close the doors.
Excuse me. You guys run in around the truck. As you get to the other side, you see Captain MacReady, a very muscular, sort of grizzled basilisk, four-armed creature. He's got his arms tied behind his back to a pole in the middle of the warehouse. It's basically cleared out, and there is one guy, this time the Barabel for real, is sort of standing over him. You can see MacReady's looks like he's been beat up quite a bit, but he's still like, you can see like he's angry, like sort of glaring down at this guy. The other guy's not paying attention to you. He's got his back to you guys, looking at the front. From the angle that you guys are coming in, you can see like on the other side of the warehouse, it's lit up. Like the building is on fire at this point. The wall has been torn away. There's some like crates and storage containers and stuff between you and that entrance, but you can see like with the shadows and the fire and stuff, everybody else that was in this warehouse has run to outside to find out what's going on and try and contain the fire. So it's just you and this Barabel as you run in.
Okay, I turn my pistol to the stun setting, and I'll fire at him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me go ahead and give me a check as you're running in. I'm gonna say like at this point you're short range, so it's just gonna be difficulty 1. With all the confusion and everything, I am gonna throw in a setback.
Yep. Oh, can I aim first, then shoot?
Sure.
Yep.
God damn. And that was on the stun setting?
Yeah.
Okay. 6. Where's my stats here? Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a good hit. You see him take that hit, but he's not down. And at this point, he turns around and raises up his carbine towards you guys.
Okay, that's enough pandering. I just shoot.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Where's my pistol? Oh yeah. So what's the difficulty? What's the things?
At this point, short range. So difficulty 1. Again, I'm gonna throw in a setback just for the rushing in, the confusion and everything.
Sure.
Should we roll initiative?
Nah, not at this point. This is gonna go quick. Just everybody take a turn, and then if he's still alive. Ooh.
Oh,
Jesus.
Everyone
just take turns shooting him.
Okay. And that was not with the stun setting?
I saw her try to stun him. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I just...
Okay. So as you guys are running in, you're all just like letting loose, shooting as you're running at this guy. That is enough for a critical hit, and with the triumph, that could also be a critical, but you're more than welcome to use it for something else.
I don't know. I don't even know what I could use it for.
I'll tell you right now, a critical hit on a guy at this level is basically an insta kill. So.
Yeah.
And then you would still have the triumph to do something narrative if you would like. As you guys are running in there, just letting off blaster bolts and stun things flying, one of the shots manages to catch. He takes a stun hit and sort of like keels over, and as he's like keeled over, like sort of reeling from the stun blast, a blaster bolt catches him like right in the eye, burning out his brain, and he slumps down to the ground, dead.
Okay.
By the way, now that I look at him, I don't recognize him, right?
No.
Especially with what remains of him.
I grab his blaster, I grab his carbine, and I start
Okay.
untying the captain.
Okay.
Ask Captain, are you okay?
Yeah, it's about time you guys got here. I thought that
Okay,
for
cool.
sure that they had
Well, I
killed
guess
you.
We should have just killed all these people and blown up a building sooner. So how about we just get out of here instead of you lambasting us?
How about
we
instead
can
of
get-
talking, you freaking untie me?
Meanwhile, I keep an eye out for the other side of the building in case the other minions pop in.
Okay.
Does the
Is-
bearable have a knife or something?
Is the carbine? Ooh.
Sorry,
Wait,
what's-
we have guns. I'm just gonna shoot the rope. Are they robes? I don't care. It's a fucking gun. I'm gonna shoot it, whatever
okay,
it is.
you just giving him a sideways glance, you shoot because he's got 4 arms and they're all tied.
Yeah.
You shoot the bindings that have him tied up to the rope, and he, rubs his wrists real quick. Do you guys have a way to get out of here? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a van.
Let's go.
Let's go. And as he follows you guys, he gives the Barabel that's dead on the ground a nice swift kick in the head, and follows you guys out to the van.
Yep. Is the carbine a good weapon? Is it new?
Yeah. Carbine. I don't have all of the stats because it's just an NPC, but
I can find it.
okay. Yeah, it's just a generic blaster carbine, ranged heavy, damage is 9. So it's pretty beefy.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Does anybody else want? I want to use it, but does anybody else want it, just in case? Because I'm skilled in heavy.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
Alright, cool. Thanks.
As you guys are running back towards the van, Rin is just eyeballing this carbine and running. As you guys are piling into the van, you hear other people from in the warehouse sort of turning around and being like, "Oh, he's escaping! Let's go get him!"
God, they really sound just drunk. This probably is why this went so easily. Anyways,
Yeah.
we should leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the van have windows?
The van does not have windows
Damn it.
in the back.
Okay.
There were no windows in the front either,
It
so
would
it
be-
made my masterful driving even more impressive.
Yeah, it's
Jedi?
like a cargo truck. It is, yeah. So you guys take off, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys speed away, you see off in the distance behind you there the warehouse continuing to burn. A couple of people run outside as you're speeding off into the air. They let loose a couple of shots at you, but they're not enough to hit you. They suck. So. Okay.
So as we're in there in the back, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
I look at the what's his face, MacReady.
Yes.
And I say, "So what you do that got the Scarlet Sabers after your back?"
I have no idea. We came here to do a job for a guy.
Do I recognize guy?
One second, sorry.
Hutt Crime Lord?
Old friend of mine, Gludo, had a job for us that I was hoping to make some money off of. I owe him a favor, so.
The Hutt?
Yeah, he's a Hutt. Who else would be running things on Nar Shadda but a Hutt?
How did I get in with this? How did I get in a mess with you guys? Oh boy.
Well, I mean, the limo crashed, and then you were there, and then you.
Yeah, I
decided to
know
go
how,
nuts because
okay,
you said
it
that we
wasn't
said you were
literal.
gonna pay us.
Dav, my libraries on Nar Shadda, demographics, and urban layout did not include the location of this warehouse. As an aggregate, this data suggests your previous association or employment by the Scarlet Blades. Would you care to elaborate on your professional history?
He's got a point.
I look at the droid a bit with one raised eye, and honestly, no. Enough to know that we don't get along. They're no friends of mine. I'm no friend of theirs. And that's pretty much sums up our relationship.
That's
I
good
won.
enough for me.
Yeah.
Right. Where are we headed to?
That's a good point. We've just sort of been driving away, but
Captain,
not.
where's your friend's palace?
He gives you guys directions where to go to. It's not the palace. We're meeting him at his.
Then
How old of you to assume he has a palace?
Oh,
But
not
then again,
not.
Hutts always have palaces.
Yeah, Hutts always have palaces, but this guy's kind of low level. That's one of the reasons that we were gonna take this job. Is I owe him a favor. He's trying to climb his way up, through the ranks, sorta.
That's good. If he gets higher level and we're in good with him, he'll give us more expensive jobs.
That's what I was thinking. Get in on the ground floor. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes, great for you. I'm here for just this one job.
could have done better than Gludo Skagg. Just saying.
Like I said, I owe him a favor.
Well, let's not gonna blast carbine out of it, so I'm fine. I'd buy my new gun.
While we're on the page of profits, your associates promised me some reward.
We said you
Considering
would talk to the captain about that.
Yeah, I don't know who you are, guy.
Well-
he helped us rescue you.
I mean, that gives him some points, but yeah, I mean, if you want to cut in on this job, I'd be happy to cut you in.
For Gludo,
Well, it'd be for me.
fine. Whatever. I need some money anyway. Had nothing to do today.
Works for me. All right, and then he gives you directions to Gludo's not palace, but residence. And unless you guys have any side stuff that you need to do, assume you're gonna head that direction.
Yeah.
All right. It takes a couple minutes. It's a decent distance away, but like it's all kind of concentrated in this area. It's back in the higher levels, not the highest levels, but it's compared to where you were in the warehouses. This is a fairly ritzy district, and you guys come down and park on like the promenade out in front, and it's not a palace, but it's like a luxury apartment in a he's got the whole floor, couple of floors. It looks like you see some patrols walking around, keeping security of the place, but they seem a little on edge. And you see a couple of them as you guys land, like ready their weapons just in case. But once they see MacReady get out. They were expecting him. Human comes out dressed in robes, comes out from the front entrance down some stairs. There's some fountains off to the side. It's a very luxurious, not palace. And he says, MacReady, I believe we were expecting you quite some time ago. I did hear that our driver is no longer with us. I'm glad to see that you're all right. MacReady says, "Yeah, no, thanks to you guys. Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, that is something. I forget the name already.
Mr. Gludo.
Grudo. That's something Grudo would like to talk to you about. If you'll follow me. He's looking forward to talking to you." He turns around, and MacReady follows behind him.
As we go, I look a bit at Tychus, and I tell him a bit with a softer voice, like, "You wouldn't happen to have another one of those, would you?" And I point towards his hat.
My hat. I mean, this is sort of like the one hat. I didn't really bring a lot more hats, but I mean, I have people I can talk to about getting you a new hat. It's all right.
No.
Maybe
It
we can
was
check in
just
the
for.
van.
It was just for
See if
the
the
time.
driver, see if the former driver had a hat or something for his uniform, maybe.
The major domo is like, oh, if only we were going to give the driver this new hat, but he's no longer with us. And you're like,
Uh,
Um,
2 days away from retirement.
Never
2
mind.
days away. We had already prepared his ceremonial retirement hat.
you do see one of the guys sort of guarding the entrance has a pretty stylish hat. If you would like to talk to him and see if he'd be willing to give it up.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm good.
I'll walk up to him and I'll ask. I'll say that hat's very stylish. I was wondering, can I purchase it from you?
He looks at you. You want to buy my hat?
Yes. How would 30 credits sound?
30 credits for this. You have any idea what kind of hat this is? This is a Venetian jubilee. This is high class hat, my friend. It's going to be 60 credits.
I see what you mean. I was just trying to lowball you. How about 50?
50 credits. Go ahead, give
Yeah.
me a negotiation check. Difficulty 2. Yes, I am just inventing words.
Negotiation. Okay, I'm not the best of that, but we'll give it a try.
Ooh, shit.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it. You actually managed to talk him down a little bit more, so you talk him down to 40 credits. But as you take the hat and give him the 40 credits, you see that he does not like you. He gave in, but like as he's giving up the hat and taking the money, he's like, I really like that hat. I think I might have just been swindled.
I just apologize and I just hand the hat. I just hand the hat away.
And it wasn't even for you. I don't
No,
like you.
It's a gift from my friend. It's a gift from my friend.
Oh my
He
god.
just saved my life.
Oh my god.
And I thought he'd like a lovely hat. He'd like a lovely hat. as a small token of my affection.
Oh Lord.
Right. I was like, okay, I'll take this as my down payment.
and as you put the hat on, he's still just like giving both of you now, like the evil.
I look at him
eye.
like, I look at him like, it's really nice though. Nice taste.
Okay. Unless there's any other apparel you guys would like to try and acquire.
I mean, I had a reason for wanting something. Basically, before we walk in, I like tip it forward to like cover at least my eyes, and as I walk a bit with my head down.
Okay. That's what I figured you were going for.
Yeah.
You guys walk inside. The sorry, I can't get over that we just bought a hat.
Get used to it.
No, I love it. As you guys walk inside, the entryway that you're walking into is it's sort of like a greeting area. There's a couple of more fountains off to the side. It's a very large, like, open area. It's like the whole almost first floor of this building is just dedicated to this like entryway / like meeting area. And as the major domo, he walks forward, and you see him walk up to a console and start speaking into it in kind of hushed tones. And then after a few seconds, a holographic display pops up, and you can see Gorba the Hutt, I think. Gorbo? Gludo Skagg.
Gludo Skagg.
I need
I'll
to
just-
highlight that so that I don't have to search for it every time.
Good.
Pops into the screen, very large. Dav, you would know, especially, the display that is being projected is quite a bit larger than he actually is. He's a relatively...
The Hutt itself.
Yeah, he's a relatively young Hutt, still mobile, doesn't require the like hover thing to get around on, but he's obviously projecting an air of authority here, and he's sorry. Go
I
ahead.
respectfully bow.
You see that catches his attention, and the closest approximation of like a respectful nod sort of goes across his face, as close to respect, appreciative, I guess, would be the closest. And he starts speaking in Huttese, with the major domo translating. And I'm just gonna do the major domo because I don't know Huttese. And he says, as you have probably noticed, we have had some issues with some upstarts in recent weeks. We would appreciate and can reward you handsomely, both financially and with favors from the glorious Gludo, if you could take care of these upstarts on Nar Shadda trying to encroach on our territory.
I guess I'll turn to the. I guess I just look to the captain, see what he has to say.
I mean, like, yeah, it's sort of like. It's sort of not our decision.
This is one of the second worst things, is having to talk to myself. So MacReady looks at Gludo. He's like, well, that's what you brought us here for, I guess, and I do owe you one. What exactly, what are we talking about pay-wise here? Like, what is the threat we're looking at? And he's like, perhaps this is something that you and Gludo could talk about in private away from your underlings. And
Well, I prefer associates, but whatever.
MacReady turns around. He's like, why don't you guys find your way over to the dining area over there and let me hash out some business stuff here with my good friend Gludo.
Of course,
Nice
Captain.
save.
Fair enough.
So you guys head over into a side room where there's some pretty decent food sitting out. There's also, like, you can see, like, there's some Hutt delicacies which look decidedly unappetizing. And after a few minutes, unless you guys have anything that you would like to do in the meantime, MacReady comes in and is like, well, we've worked out a deal. You guys are going to get 1,000 credits each for this job. Plus, it will lead to other work. Hopefully that works out for everybody.
Oh, that sounds okay.
Sorry, can you repeat
Well,
that
I
out
mean,
of
as far
character?
as
We're killing people.
Well, we don't necessarily have to kill people. It's probably what it's going to come down to. But we have to get these crimson saber-tooths, whatever. We got to get them to get off this planet, or at least out of Gludo's hair.
Okay.
And it was 1,000 credits each for completing this
Okay.
job.
I look at him and I say, "Did you ask him for details about the group?"
I mean, I know basically where their main deal is. We basically have to get the guy that's running this joint, the chapter of this joint.
Need help?
It looks like
George? Is it him?
no, it is not him. That would
Okay.
be too easy for you, my friend.
It would.
The guy that's running the operation down here is an underling of the main thing. They're sort of branching out from some other planet. It looks like they have help from a competing Hutt faction, but that's one of the other things. We get a bonus if we can find any evidence of one of the rival Hutt clans backing these guys. But we have to go take out... Excuse me.
Those death sticks I see still.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. Alright. Do you know where their main location is?
Yeah, they're holed up. They've got apartment in one of the lower sections that they're dealing. It's mostly drugs that they're involved with at this point. But the guy running things is Cade. I didn't catch a last name. But we have to get him, like I said, get these guys out of here, at least take out Cade. If we take him out, the rest of the group should just kind of fall apart. And if we can find any evidence that... This voice is killing me. If we can find any evidence that one of the rival Hutt gangs is involved, he says there's going to be a handsome reward in there. The bonus.
So, do you think we should try and capture the leader for interrogation?
I'm sure we could probably get extra money out of it if we manage to do that, yeah.
Yeah. Potentially, then we should maybe try and do that. And if we bring it back to the Hutt, he might he might enjoy torturing the guy. So that'd be a pretty good win-win for everybody. Well, almost.
You're not very consistent, are you?
Oh, I'm fairly consistent.
Yeah, the only, I'll tell you, the only downside, with everything going on, Gludo is not exactly trusting of what's going on. So he has required that I sort of stay here as his guest until this job is done. So,
You know you can't say prisoner.
well, I wouldn't say that out loud in his
Yes, let's...
residence.
I was going to say, I wouldn't say it in his house.
Is he offering any equipment? Like, we could use some grenades potentially.
I'm sure that if you head over, talk to the head security guy, we could probably get some equipment since we're doing this for him.
Is it by chance the same person with the hat?
He did say something about him having a great taste in clothing.
Good to know.
Well,
Maybe I can trade him his hat for like a few thermal detonators.
Yeah.
So is there? Yeah, go
Could
ahead.
ask V free to talk to him.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. Can you say that again?
Oh, I could say we asked V free to talk to him, and maybe he'll be more obliging.
Of course he will.
You're going to send the like barely sociable droid. Like how about I go? The droid is not exactly V3 is not exactly
Protocol.
a negotiator.
Yeah, his head kind of rotates and like the teal like lens like circles a couple times, very inhumanly and impassionately.
See?
Okay. That's still a good idea then. You go then, and we'll wait here, because that guy doesn't really like us.
Yes, I
We'll
will
give
go
it away.
on my
He's offended
own.
that we took his hat.
You took his. You what?
We bought his hat,
Don't
And
look
he-
at me.
and-
She bought it.
and he thinks we swindled him a little bit.
Well, if I know you, you probably did swindle him. Good job.
Oh my god. I was gonna go talk to him about getting something, these grenades that you were so obsessed about, which I'm sort of concerned about, but we'll get to that later. We'll get you the
Well,
grenades
they're good-
first.
They're good for you throw them into the room. Then once they explode, you go in and mop up anything that's left.
Yeah, no, I am
I think that's our concern.
educated on the basic breach and clear tactics. That being said, I feel like it's a bit excessive, but I respect your foresight. So I'm gonna go talk to this guy about getting the
Well-
precious grenades.
There's
The reason I said that you're not very consistent is that you go from blowing shit up to I don't want to kill this person. I don't want to kill people. I'm just gonna
Also-
stun.
I was
To
gonna stun-
let's
stun
blow more
grenades.
shit
I
up.
was going to stun him so we could bring him into the van so we could
We
interrogate
only
him.
need like one person alive, really. I mean, like,
That was basically the plan. Cause like, and have the forearmed guy have the captain kill the guy.
Apologies, a hornet just appeared right next to me. Okay,
Ooh. That's
it
not
was
good.
It was as big as my fucking eye.
oh,
You alright?
oh boy.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think it got scared by my shout and went out.
All right. So you guys are just hanging out while
Drinking some water.
You okay?
so
He's
Tychus,
trying to remember my name. There
Yeah.
we go. Took a while.
sorry. Tychus is.
I mean,
going
it
out
is
to talk to
it
a
is
guy.
tough. It's basically the only two-syllable name because V3 also
Hey,
counts.
it'd be one thing if all I had to remember was V3, Rin, Tychus, and Dav, but I also have to remember Gludo Skagg, MacReady.
Hey man, you were the
Cade.
one that put that on yourself. I mean, I'm just saying, like, bro.
Oh no, Gludo Skagg came from somebody's background, so you know.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Hey,
No,
I'll go
the
talk to
hut
this-
that I originally had in here, because this was all relatively set up, but then I steal things from backgrounds to sort of whatever. But like,
Well, that's useful.
I think the original name that I had was like Torba or something. So, but whatever.
Hut
I still
name.
would have fucking forgot. You know.
okay, I go talk to the Hat Man about getting grenades.
You go talk to the Hat Man, who has no hat.
Hatless man.
So you walk
He's the
outside.
He's the ex-Hat Man.
You walk outside
Yes.
and he's out there talking to one of the other security guys. He's like, yeah, and he walks up and he's just like, hey, that's a nice hat. And the next thing I know, he's offering me money, and like, it was a really nice hat. And the other guy's like, well, how much did you get for it? He's like, 40 credits. He's like, didn't you pay like 120 for that? He's like, I don't want to hear about it. He's like, you're a sucker. Well, you know, I'm good at shooting stuff. That's what I do. And he it looks like you got somebody make me want to buy your coat. Why don't you go fuck off? And he turns around and is like, what do you want?
Yeah, you can just call me Tychus. I am here to help out Gludo on a mission to take down the Crimson
Blades.
Scarlet Blades, something like that. And I need your help. Do you have any grenades? Could we borrow some grenades?
You want now you want grenades. You bought my hat and now you want
I
grenades.
didn't buy your hat. Those guys are maniacs. I'm here for one mission to pay off my arm. So I don't care about that. I'm very sorry about your hat. It's a very nice one. Do you want mine?
He looks at it and it's like it's a nice hat, but like it's a hat that you've worn like in for quite some
It's
time.
not as good as your hat, but a hat is a hat.
And he looks at it, he's like, it's quite dirty.
Jackson's changed to British.
And there's a hole in it.
It looks like someone shot it.
It means
I
that
don't
it's a
want-
lucky hat. See, I'm not dead. Somebody shot me in the head and I didn't die. That clearly means this hat is lucky.
I am empathetic to what you're going through. And I do appreciate that you've got a fondness for your hat, and I appreciate a guy that's got a taste in hats. And it looks like at one point it was a fine hat, but now, quite frankly, it's rather crusty.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and you were surprisingly verbose for someone in the employ of the less favorable, savory elements of the galaxy.
This is a stepping stone. My dream is one day to be a cook. I would like to open my own restaurant, but it takes time and money. You got to do what you got to do to pay your way through culinary school.
No, I understand you completely. My entire life got ruined when I was almost killed, and you have to sort of do what you can with what you have.
Right,
know?
exactly.
So I get it.
I think we're on the same page. So you said you needed some grenades. Do you want explosives, or do you want like knockout grenades, or a combination of the two?
So, is there a certain limit of, how would you say, how many you're willing to give us?
I mean, you guys you're not, necessarily in the employ of Gludo. So.
Oh, yeah, of course, understandable.
Being that you're contractors, I like your hat. You seem like a good guy, unlike the rest of your crew.
Yes.
I can give you.
We hat-wearing people must stick together.
Yes. People of a good fashion sense.
Yes.
I can get you 4 grenades.
Can we get an even split, 2 fragmentation and 2 stun?
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem. If you just wait here for a few minutes, I'll go get those grenades for you.
Splendid.
All right, I'll be back. And he heads off, not nearly as angry as he was before. Jesus. What?
I like small talk the other guy. The other guy, he's in the meanwhile.
So,
Small talking with him.
How you doing?
It's going along. I didn't expect to be here after having a rocket shot at the limousine.
That's the way of things here,
I've been to Nar Shadda a couple times, and I gotta say, it seems like every time it gets a little bit worse.
I would say better, but I like
more
the action.
exciting maybe.
Yeah,
but
well, that's what I'm here for.
I got like stuff going on in my life. I kind of don't really.
Yeah, Shad
want
over there,
to.
he wants to be a cook and all that shit. I just want to shoot shit, man. Like blow shit up. That's what I'm here for.
I
don't know why they put him in charge.
Your honesty.
I try, I could die any day, So live life for
That's
what it's
true.
worth, Live every
That's
day
true.
like
No,
it's
I
last,
know.
because it could be your last, Somebody
Yeah,
could
no,
come up
I'm
with some grenades
very
and
well aware.
blow you up,
Or a car.
Yeah. So we
I mean, it looks
blow
like you
up
got
with
a
grenade
nice
or
arm
rocket.
out of it, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was a that was I don't like to talk about that. This is not a fun time. But,
He lifts up
Yeah,
his
no,
shirt and he's like, right here, one of my own grenades, timer was fucked up, blew up right in my face, and he's got like just this giant burn scar right across his abdomen. He's like, yeah,
cool, great.
that's what I'm dealing with. I mean, I got more, and he like rolls up his sleeve and he's like got this giant gash. That was from an ex-girlfriend of mine. She didn't like the fact that I was talking to her sister. And then he like rolls up his pant leg, and then right then the other guy comes around. He's like, "Are you showing off your scars again? That's disgusting." He's like, "What?" It's like, we're 2 battle-hardened guys talking about our fucking war wounds and shit. He's got a whole arm that's gone. It's like, I don't think he wants to talk about that.
Yeah, I got that. It was cut off. It was a very fun time, I must admit. Really enjoyed being left for dead.
He's like,
Do you know Rock Valance? The crime lord, Rock Valance.
is he here on Nar Shadda?
No, but he's the one who did this to me. It was
Yeah.
very entertaining.
No, I only know what you know. If you want to know about famous cooks, I can tell you about famous cooks, and you know, who's the up and comers. I can recommend a great restaurant. And here's your grenades, and he hands you a sack with.
Oh yes, thank you for the grenades. I would love to hear your recommendations, but right now I'm not exactly liquid. I couldn't probably afford a meal of the quality that you're suggesting, so I'm probably gonna have to.
Just judging by the state of the hat, probably not. But you know, maybe when this job is done, you'll have.
I've
some
sort
extra
of
income.
moved down in the world, economically speaking, but I don't feel much worse for it. So, anyways, thank you for the grenades. I should get back to the rest of my crew.
Okay. And as you're walking away, you see those two guys like going back to sort of arguing about the whole conversation. You've got 2 frag grenades and 2 stun grenades.
Okay. So I come back to Ren and Rav and
Yeah.
V3, and I show the grenades, and I say, okay, do you want to split these up, or do you just want them all there, lady?
We should just split them up.
I'm good.
Okay, I'll take, how about 50-50?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'll take 1 of each.
Yep. We should maybe check the grenades first as well, just make sure that they're in proper working order.
Okay, well that seems like you more. I'm not exactly a grenades guy. That's sort of outside the line of my usual work. So
Yeah.
Maybe V3 can see the stability.
we need to do a thing that doesn't involve shooting. Give it to the droid.
His head kind of pivots, thinking that he's been like notified of needing attention.
V3, make sure that can you have a look at these grenades and make sure that they're mechanically stable? I guess.
Affirmative.
Okay.
He'll take one, and the teal lens kind of zooms in a little bit, and a smaller one to like the bottom right also kind of swirls around.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It is functional.
Okay. I guess looks at show him the other 3 as well.
Yeah, you we're gonna do this one at a time.
Well,
No.
I mean, he's a droid. He's not.
No, you examine the grenades, and they're newish. So, you know, they obviously haven't been used or anything, but they've been, you know, kept in good conditions. Judging by like the one grenade sort of still has like a little piece of like foam on it, so they came like right out of like a storage container. These are like brand new grenades.
Okay, that's good.
A little dusty maybe, been sitting around, but grenades aren't something that gets used super a lot.
Alright.
They don't really see much second use, if you get what I'm saying.
They're they are grenades, and then after usage, they become X grenades.
That would be a great thing, like worn out grenades.
Yeah.
It's like it's like they haven't been used, and I was like, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was making sure just in case they're defective and they blow up in our hands.
Would I be able to make any kind of knowledge roll to assess what I already know about the Scarlet Sabers?
Blades.
Scarlet Blades?
Yes. Give me 1 second here. I keep fucking up.
Spineless little ingrate. Got you now. Come on.
Go ahead and give me an underworld check. I'm gonna go ahead make this difficulty 3. This is a relatively until recently small group.
I did. I got him. bastard mosquito. See you in hell. Best $5 of yen, 500 yen I've ever spent. Electric fly swatter.
Electric fly
Just a-
swatter?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you press the button and you swing it and then you hit them and they start sparking and you're just like,
Wow.
ha.
Yeah, you don't have to
You came
smash it
for
against
blood,
something.
but you sought blood, but you have found death.
I wish I had one as well.
You said Underworld?
Yes. Man, that is ridiculous. Oh, it was
Wow.
difficulty 2.
Oh, I thought I,
I
put
don't think it matters. Oh, sure. Actually, never mind.
Oh, I put the 3 purples, but it didn't show
Yeah.
any.
Yeah, just click away from them, so
Oh,
the
I
page
see.
registers. Yeah, I had the same thing happen to me. So
Want
you
me to
can
roll
just
again?
roll 2.
Yeah,
You can
if
just roll
wanna
the 2
two
separately.
purples, yeah.
Just roll 2. Okay.
Okay, that's still a success and not as many threat. Scanning through your extensive database of news and the like, the Crimson Sabers, they were sort of an up and coming like street gang, for lack of a better term. They were becoming more and more violent, sort of gaining ground, taking over territory from some other gangs in sort of Hutt space. And then all of a sudden, they did one job. You can't get the details on it, but things didn't go as planned. And after that, they sort of dropped off the radar. A lot of people thought that they were done for good, and then here recently they've sort of cropped back up, aggressively expanding their territory.
Got another one. I like banging the swatter on the ground a couple times so they like shift around and you watch them spark a bit more.
And do I know anything about like Nar Shadda operations or like contacts or anything I could work off of there?
Just what you've gotten from these guys. They haven't operated really on Nar Shadda before. This is sort of new for them.
Okay.
The leader was a gentleman.
Zabrak.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Scarlet
Not
Blades.
Cade.
No, not Cade. Cade's just the local guy.
Okay.
A Zabrak named Gearge.
Geared, yeah.
Yep. And like I said, he sort of fell off the radar for a while, but he's been sort of popping up, leading some raids and stuff on other planets in and around Hutt space. Nar Shadda is sort of where they originated from, but they, it's so close to Hutt control that they sort of very quickly expanded out from there, then sort of fell off the radar, and now they're sort of pushing their way back in more aggressively than they have before.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Anything else?
From me? No, that's good.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys just want to head to the area where this guy's supposedly located at? Do you want to take the van? Do you want to see about another mode of transportation?
I mean, I say we just take the van. It's inconspicuous. It goes well enough.
Yeah, the van seems pretty good.
Okay. You guys all hop into the van and start heading to where this job is supposedly located. And just because it's first session and things, I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna end it there with you guys heading to this next job. Do you guys have anything that you would like to sort of do at the end of the session or anything on your way there?
I guess I would ask
Because I want to make
if,
sure we have time to
yeah.
get all the stuff written down that you guys picked up, your carbines, your blasters, your grenades, and it's 20 experience points for everybody.
Nice. I was gonna ask if V3 is relaying any of that information he found out to us.
Yes, he would. He kind of on the drive over there. He give a debrief of everything he knows. And just to follow up on that, do I, with my success and for advantage, would I know anything about any affiliation with Huts at all?
There's a lot of rumors, but nothing concrete.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
But it's. I mean, you don't even need successes for this. The Hutt clans are always sort of pitting other people against other clans because they won't like directly attack each other. It's one of the few things that like Hutts hold sacred. They won't like attack each other directly and kill each other. But a lot of times they'll use like people
Proxy
like
wars.
Yeah, proxy wars, exactly. Thank you.
Okay. So, are we allowed to expend our experience
Yes.
between sessions?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't have to like reach a certain milestone or whatever.
I mean, I would prefer like things make a certain amount of sense. Like if you, let's say, if you wanted to start getting points in like force powers or something like that, I would.
No,
prefer...
yeah, I would say like specializations would.
Yeah.
Like new specializations would probably have to have like a more narrative reason, but
Right.
I think that just like skills and talents
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to pick up new specializations, it like I said, it's if you can give me a good reason for it, I've got no problem with it. But if you're picking up like whole new trees or whole new like backgrounds, I would prefer to have some sort of reasoning. But I like with V3, for example, like he's been in a couple of gunfights. So if he said, I'd really like to practice like my shooting, I'd like to pick up, a skill set, we could work on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're just downloading a combat.
Yeah,
thingy.
yeah. But I mean, it's it's just one of those things. Mostly for me, it comes down to the force stuff. When that like pops up out in the one game I was running, the one guy was like a force user, and he wanted to put points in lightsaber, and I was like, you don't even have a lightsaber yet. Like, I want you to be able to like do your thing. I want you to get better at it, but it just doesn't make sense that you don't even have a lightsaber that you would be getting better with a lightsaber that you've never used. So
Yeah.
and I'm gonna roll because we didn't do any obligation stuff this session, but I'm gonna roll a D100 and see what pops up for next session.
We almost did.
Do we have that set up, like the obligations, like who's what number?
Yes, I have a list right here printed out, and nobody's obligation is going to be triggered next session. I still use them for the story and stuff, so don't. It's just if somebody's obligation pops up, I will focus a lot more on it. So
I forgot what tree I picked actually.
What's that?
I forgot what tree I picked. I think I picked a sleeper agent, but I'm not sure.
That's what I have, sleeper agent. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I don't think I written that anywhere. I probably should.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I did actually. No, I did. It's fine.
And then if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, like let me know how it went. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah,
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it has promise.
I hope to just keep getting better and not have to keep saying like, hold on 1 second while I look this up, guys.
I mean, that's fine. Just take your time,
Yeah.